heart, one mind, one soul, and brought that individual greater truth than that individual came into a relationship with me having, then I would say that I've been successful. Harry Belafonte. Powerful giants. Examples that they set for us. Values that they instilled in us. Passing forward. Each one teach one, each one preach one. Inheritance of the EO for all time. Reference how our ancestors viewed our back to ourselves. Say it loud. You can't teach others if you're living the same way. Change right. I'm not quite sure what freedom is, but I know damn well what it ain't. Bring some in, but make others. Nelson Mandela. We have to talk about liberating minds as well as liberating society. Angela Davis. Say it loud, 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 say it loud. You can kill a man, but you can't kill an idea. Medgar Evers. You make progress by implementing ideas. Shirley Chisholm. I do not expect the white media to create positive black male images. UEP Newton. Education is for improving the lives of others and for leaving your community and world better than you found it. Aaron Wright Edelman. Education is the passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Malcolm X. If nobody can learn from the past, then there's no point in raking it up. Billie Holiday. Your voice can change the world. Barack Obama. Say it loud. 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 If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Martin Luther King. It must be recognized that no black males manufacture the chemicals for drug use. Nor do any black males manufacture guns. Francis Crispus. If you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have a moral obligation to do something about it. John Lewis. You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Maya Angelou. The proof that one truly believes is in his actions. Brian Preston. Say it loud. 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 No race can prosper till it learns that there is as much dignity in tilling a field as writing a poem. Booker T. Washington. Say it loud. Good day, one and all.
Good day.
Welcome to another episode of Freedom Stars podcast. Now we catching them up. Yeah. So this should happen
day.
even. Yeah, he was we got so many shows with getting it situated which one was
Today.
what. Today is I don't know.
Today is Tuesday.
I know it's Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. And we be so busy, y'all, everything just seems like one big long day. Our topic today is, I got my notes, I'm ready, y'all. Our topic today is Christianity and the church. If there's some people out there that are sensitive.
Oh, so did you find that the thing we're supposed to be talking about?
No, do you remember you just want to speak on it? Because I think between both of us, we'll cover the whole thing. And
yeah,
then,
but it would have been good to have the guy, the preacher, whoever he was, to
about the money thing? About the money thing?
No, about the religion. The description of what he actually said about religion, how black churches are.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. No, I will have to look for that. But let's do this. We'll do another show with that.
And a follow up.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a follow up from this show. But if there's anybody out there that's sensitive when it comes to religious topics, I don't know if you want to tune in, but it would be good to tune in because it's always good for us to help each other see things from different points of view.
And it's good, it's educational to know the history of things.
Yeah. Well, the history has a tendency of repeating itself, and it's like if you don't know your history about certain things, which I'm a student of life, I stay learning. If we don't know the history, you know what I'm saying, we doomed to repeat the same mistakes.
Other than the history of religion, the history that religion was brought to Afro-Americans was from slavery. When as soon as they got off the boat, they was given a Bible. Yeah. That's how Afro-Americans got indoctrinated into this Christianity and this religion.
Yeah, so as far as Africans and people of African descent, which we consider ourselves Afro-American natives, mixture of African, American, and the indigenous people. Christianity, I would have to say honestly, I don't think it's for people of ethnic descent because there's things that precede the Bible. There's things that the Bible was created from. And I'm not talking against the Bible, but the way I see things with life now is like, whatever good that there is in Christianity, it's good to take that from Christianity and benefit from it, as well as whatever other religion that you can learn from as well. But
Judaism,
Buddhist, Zen, it's so many religions out there, and that's what lets you know that there's something about just the whole religious thing is that it's just so many. Like me and Kev can actually create our own church. It's that easy.
That's what Hubbard did with Scientology.
I heard, is that the one that made a dollar bet?
I think that was the original story.
There was a dollar bet that they could start a religion.
Start a religion, people would believe in it, and that's what it's. That was almost like how Trading Places, the movie from Trading Places. They got the idea for that movie.
That was with Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was originally actually for Richard Pryor.
We seen that in Being Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just seen this movie about Eddie Murphy's life. It's called Being Eddie, and it's on Netflix, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Getting back to the religion topic. As I was saying, we can start a church, a SOKU international church. It's just churches are nonprofit organizations, and I think what people have to realize is that the people that operate the church, the people that work at the church, the people that perform at the church for the church, those are regular people just like us. They're no closer to God than you are.
So, bishop and pastors and ministers and whatever.
All the different titles,
all these different titles they give themselves.
So me coming up when I was younger, once I stopped going to the Kingdom Hall and I, started becoming of age, and like I said in one of our previous podcasts about how do you feel about religion, decided to, start, expanding, searching for a church. So I wound up in the Baptist sector and started going to New Birth Missionary Baptist Church when it was on Snapfinger Road in Decatur. And became a member, and that's when a lot of stuff started seeming like, because my eyes were opening up as I got older, and I just decided that I didn't want to affiliate myself with that church. So then I went to Foundations of Faith and Beulah's Baptist Church. I went to a lot of different churches and just decided to just let that go and keep, a spiritual relationship with the universe.
At about 18, I went into different churches just to see what the difference between the churches were, like from a mass, or what they call it, Maz, to Moorish American temple to Kingdom Hall, and I hadn't been to and what they call it, not Apostle, what's the other one?
Seventh-day Adventist.
No, which one your aunt was in?
Catholic.
No, Evangelist. I hadn't been into an evangelist church.
Oh yeah, I've been to the It's so many different churches.
I've been in different churches, and the biggest thing is everybody's looking for religion. Everybody's trying to find faith, and everybody's trying to believe in something.
And then the thing about it is that
it's a blind faith.
Yeah, the things that everyone is searching for is already inside of us.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we out here looking and searching, and it's right in you.
Yeah,
you know, so you gotta look inward.
You have to strive to be a better person, a better part of who you are, and helping each other. That's the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. But people get lost in trying to be the better Christian or the better.
Yeah, some people get into the competitions, holier than thou kind of
that's
energies.
Right.
Yeah.
And they want to point fingers at people, and they want to damn people and send people to hell and all this. Oh, you're going to burn in hell because you're doing this, you're sinning, you're doing. Okay, so what are you doing? Mm-hmm. You're so Mr. Perfect or Mrs. Perfect. What are you running around here pointing your fingers at everybody else and you're not looking at yourself? Mm-hmm. You're too busy pointing your fingers at other people.
And I see that more with Christians than any other religion. I see Christians more labeling, more blasphemous, more hypocritical, more judgmental. Like Christianity just has so many bad things in it. And I've, talked to Muslims, and I ain't talking about the Nation of Islam Muslim. I'm talking about the Muslim. I've talked to, people with more calmer spirits, and some people that was just spiritual. And whatever you tell them, they don't look at you sideways. They don't squinch their face.
A lot of these people,
it's just what it is.
The same people that you see giving all this money in church, they will step over a person on the sidewalk. They will look down a person on the sidewalk. They will talk about people instead of helping them. But they'll go to church to try to put this persona on that they're just so giving and so caring, and give this minister or this pastor or this bishop or this prophet all their money.
And then the person you giving all your money to, you don't even really know who that person is.
And what they doing with the money.
That's why I said from what you were talking about, people have to officiate the pastor, bishop, preacher, whatever you want to call them. They have to officiate that person to their church. That person needs to be voted in. You don't just go to a church and it's just a man or a woman up there and then you just accept it. You got to know that this is somebody that's abiding by what your life, your living standards are, that they fall into alignment with, with your beliefs, because some people go to church with a certain thing inside them, and then the preacher could be preaching something that ain't completely in alignment with them, and they'll shapeshift themselves to fit into that. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't how you're supposed to do it. A preacher, a pastor, bishop, or whatever you want to call it, a prophetess or whatever, they work for you. They don't have a relationship closer to God than you do. You don't have to go to them to get to God. That's the way a lot of these things are set up. You think that person in the pulpit that's up there preaching has a stronger relationship with God than you, and that's not the case. That person is up there performing.
God talks to them and nobody else.
Yeah. Whatever message your God speaks into your heart is just as strong as that preacher said, that him or her, that God said to them. So people got to get out of the mindset of putting these pastors, all these people on pedestals, because what happens somewhere down the line is that they're going to fail you, because they're the same type of person that all of us are. And they say we all fall short of the glory. You don't think a pastor or a preacher or prophetess or whatever fall short of the glory? And what I see now with all these different, with technology, somebody's always recording stuff. People be in church now, and I see pastors, male, females. It's a money thing now,
It's a big money thing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And they're not asking for a little bit of money.
And just to ask for money, period.
They're asking for envelopes. And 15 people are here. It's 15 people in here. Now hear me now. Here in church. There's 15 people out here gonna give me $1,000.
And they've gotten so aggressive.
Yeah.
They've gotten so aggressive, like it's
And
just
bold.
crazy.
And bold. And they come up with these fictitious stories about how they was seen that they were supposed to give this much money, this $1,500 from 15 people.
That's
This
crazy.
big, just this number out of the air.
It's a lot of
And
nerve.
25 people are gonna give me $350.
Yeah, that's a lot of
And then
nerve.
20 people gonna give me $157.
And then people running up there, you know, and
Yeah.
not throwing no shade to nobody at church, but like I said, I've been to a lot of churches since I've been to Atlanta. And there's one specific church I remember going to, I want to say it's in either College Park or Riverdale. It's called World Changers Ministries. Officiated by Creflo Dollar. There was the point when I was new there, but seeing ATMs, it was just crazy.
But there's only in the Afro-American churches.
I don't know.
You can walk into a Catholic church, or
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
walk into an Anglo's evangelist church. See how many of their preachers, ministers, how many of their fathers is going to ask their patrons for $1,000, $1,500, $2,000.
I agree. I haven't seen anything like that.
Yeah, I've never only Anglo preacher I know that's actually done that was Jim Jones. And then Jim Jones had Anglos, but he had mostly African Americans.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only other Anglo preacher that I know that did that was Jim Jones.
That's amazing. But yeah, being in World Changers and seeing ATM machines, and it was the same way at New Birth as well. When you start seeing ATMs in churches, that's kind of like...
That doesn't make sense.
You know what I'm saying? Because going to the Kingdom Hall as a child, I never seen that. If you came to the Kingdom Hall and you forgot your money at home or you ain't have it, that's what it was.
What happened to churches that said give what you can?
Yep.
Not what I asked for.
Yeah. And what I gotta say, I feel like a lot of this stuff is a bunch of brainwash.
And it's an assignment.
It's crazy.
It's an assignment that you got to give me $2,000.
It's crazy. But yeah, getting back to World Changers again. So the ATM machines was one thing. So going to the assembly area where it was like it felt like I was at a concert. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not throwing shade. I'm just speaking on my experience. All of these seats just wrapped around. And then I heard like brrr, like this rumble, and I guess the people that are members that they know what's going on. So just out of nowhere, everybody put envelopes in. Everybody in the church was jumping. I'm looking at all of these envelopes wave.
Music does things.
It was like, yeah, I was
different
like,
instruments does things to people.
it's like they were under.
They pump oxygen in there.
Like the casinos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody was jumping with their envelopes in their hand, and I'm looking around like, you know, I ain't have no envelope and I wasn't jumping because that was my first time there, but they was saying some kind of words they were saying to, I want to say something about a cheerful giver or something like that, but it was a different experience.
Wow.
But that was my only time going there. I've been trying to run different places, and like I said, church doesn't work for me. The other thing I want to talk about is like, you got some water? Okay. The other thing I want to talk about is like how in our podcast, the episode about how do you feel about religion, I mentioned when I was a member at New Birth Missionary Baptist Church that Eddie Long, who was the bishop, whatever the bishop is, all them titles be confusing me. But yeah, this one particular time I went, which was my last time, he was in there gay bashing. Now the big confusion about the whole gay bashing thing to me is that, okay, if you're against homosexuality, if you believe that Jesus died for everybody's sins, if you believe in the power of prayer, I think you should pray, take it up to God. Don't make them people feel distant. Don't make them feel isolated. Don't make them feel like they're not a part of your congregation, because while you preaching against homosexuality, guess what? You still taking their money. So if you got a problem with homosexuality, you should have a problem with receiving their money. You get what I'm saying? So he did enough that day.
You have some in your church.
Yeah, and yeah, it'd be homosexuals on their board. It'd be homosexuals on the stage, homosexuals in the choir, homosexuals playing pianos, homosexuals shaking tambourines, and sometimes the pastor be a homosexual, hidden in plain sight. So Yeah, for him to do that sermon that day, and like I said in the previous one, you could tell who was gay because people was getting up leaving. You have been accepting these people money. They play a part in the foundation and the core of the existence of your mega church. And you have a problem with their lifestyle, but you don't have a problem with receiving their money. That's not what they say, make it make sense. Mm-hmm. That's not balance. The biggest thing you can do, if anybody's doing anything that you feel like doesn't align with God's word or the Bible, pray for them.
And then pull them closer to God.
Yeah. Because when you do that,
you're trying to make them go astray. Why don't you pull them closer? And
then the thing with Jehovah's Witness, which I mentioned before, they have this thing called disfellowship. So any religion that can kick you out, that can suspend you, that can terminate your time, that's not, no.
It's not a church.
No. No, because you're going to the church to become a better person. You're going to the church to maintain a type of a balance. As the Bible say, everybody falls short of the glory. If somebody falls short of the glory and they go mention it to the elders and they put you on a timeout or this fellowship, what good is it?
What they said about throwing the first stone?
Yeah, he was without sin, let them cast the first stone. Because the same people you going to report your sin or your mistake to, you don't think they done did some shit? I mean, come on, y'all. And I'm speaking on every church, not just Jehovah's Witness, every church. Because from Bishop Eddie Long speaking that big homosexual talk, guess what happened when you hit the fast forward button? He wound up, it was discovered that he had been dating high school boys, like had them up in apartments, paying their bills, bought one of them a Mercedes-Benz, taking them on trips to Africa, out of the country.
They started from when they were 14.
Yeah, they started as little boys when they called grooming. Yeah. So how is it that you can be on stage preaching against homosexuality when it's a thing that you do? So that's why I said these people following these pastors and these preachers and these bishops and these prophets, and the women are no better because you get these women on stage. They faces made up like Sherwin Williams and Dutch Boy. They got like a pound of makeup on. They got lashes, lipstick, they nails done, they hair, they got weave. Their outfits is form-fitting and sexy. Make that make sense. That's acceptable in religion. That's temptation. You know? That's Jezebel energy.
Not to mention women are not supposed to be preachers.
Yeah, you're supposed to be on the stage. And I done seen enough videos, shows, TVs, just everywhere. When a woman is on that stage with that microphone, they do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Because one woman was up there, and she was like, you know, I'm so tired of such and such. She said, I'm so tired of these goddamn niggas. She said that on the stage. This was an elder, African-American, Native woman.
They tried to clean it up.
Yeah, then she was like, they emotional, you know what I'm saying? Then we done seen this other lady, I don't want to say everybody's name, but I'm pretty sure some people are being in alignment with who I'm talking about. Who you was talking about, the lady said 20 people are going to come up here and bring her $1,000 each. Mm-hmm. Then we got the male preacher, Baptist bishop, whatever all it is.
Yeah, Wayne's or something.
Yeah, so he asked for
$2,000,
and this lady came up there and she gave him $1,200, and he just, just confidently said
talked her down, tried to put her down, but he still took the
and still took her money. So it's too much going on, y'all. It's too much going on. The time in the day is gonna have to come where all of us are gonna have to just gain that spiritual backbone that we need, and we're gonna have to officiate ourselves. We're gonna have to become spiritual. It's not all about religion.
When are we gonna see these churches go into these poor neighborhoods and lift these people up that's living in poverty, with all these children that's running around with no shoes on, or holes in their pants and their shoes, no food? When are these churches gonna go in these neighborhoods and lift them up?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Why are all these homeless people on the streets and stuff, and they only do it once a year, like Christmas time, or when they want to be seen on TV
for publicity?
Yeah.
That is
there shouldn't be any homeless people. It shouldn't be any people, like right now, all these people would have no problem with food.
And that's one thing.
All these churches that have all this money, all these communities, some streets have 4 churches on them.
Mm-hmm.
So it
A
should
street
be
with
no.
4 churches on that street should be lined
Yeah.
in gold. How they say heaven has streets
Yeah.
of gold?
There shouldn't be.
That neighborhood should be
There
nice.
shouldn't be one family in United States going hungry because they don't have any food to feed their children. Not with all the churches that we have.
Yeah.
Not with all the churches that we have. All the money that these churches are getting.
And it's a non-profit organization, so yeah.
They don't pay any
It
taxes.
shouldn't be nobody with no, like this SNAP thing. If SNAP never come back, I know they say some people start getting half of their benefits, but
These churches tell these people, I got you. You don't have to worry about the government. You have your church to fall back on. Or you have this church to fall back on.
and that's whether they're a member or not.
That's right.
It's the right thing to do. You know, your God has
It's the
blessed you
Christian
and
thing to
ordained
do.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of Christianity, I know there's Christians out there that are serious about their religion, that are sensitive about their religion, but Christianity for me is I feel like it's a form of brainwash. You know what I'm saying? The whole Jesus thing, the whole preaching, how people try to save your soul and they really don't know if they saved, and then you saved from what? Because you're still on the same earth. I have tons of stories of conversations I had with Christians where at some point they just get pissed off and they don't hide their anger.
No, they really don't.
Yeah, then they'll tell you you're going to hell.
They
Like
call you
they'll tell you
demons.
that. Yeah.
Call you demons if you don't say the whatever words they want you to read out of the Bible.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah,
It's supposed to be to save your soul.
to those Christians that are doing a good deed, I give you your props. To every religious sector out there that's doing a good deed and paying attention to what you're saying, how you're behaving, how you're viewing the world, how you uplifting mankind, I give you your props. You know what I'm saying? But religion really, I think at some point in time it's gonna have to cease and settle. It's gonna have to become a thing of the past. Cause I know so many people like getting Teresa, my dad's ex-wife, who might be married again because of his money situation. From our time of conversating with her just about every day on the phone, hours and hours, she quote Bible scriptures like you would not believe. You know, this is a Christian woman, person, female. With her quoting the Bible scriptures, stay on the phone with her long enough, and 10 minutes later, oh, this fuckery, this motherfucking, this shit, and this bitch, and this bullshit, and she say every word in the book. She cursed worse than a man, but then she'll dictate so many Bible stories to you, and so many Bible scriptures and verses, chapters, all of this stuff. But then at the same time, that's why they say the devil know the Bible just as well.
That's right.
It's
They
too
say it
much
backwards.
trickery in Christianity. My father as well, he's supposed to be this big time Christian that he will get high and drunk, whoremongering, etc., but then he'll talk to you about how you need to get your life together because Jesus coming back. What I learned with a lot of Christians is that the way they live their life in their eyes is okay. They don't see no wrongdoing in themselves. They point and look out at the world. I don't need you to dictate anything to me. If there is a hell and that's where I'm headed at, if you feel like I'm headed there and you care for me, just pray for me. Don't preach no words to me. Don't tell me no Bible stories or anything, and then you not living by the words that's coming out your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it was when I listened to my father's mother and my father.
Mm-hmm.
They really got me confused with the Bible because they be doing all this everything under the sun, and then start talking about the Bible.
Yeah.
Like my dad, he would be drunk, standing there talking, reading out of the Bible.
Yeah.
I was bloodshot. I'm like, okay, so I know they said that Jesus' eyes was red. But I don't believe it was from the alcohol. But yeah, he was,
Jesus was like, I'll drink to that.
he was standing there drunk as a skunk and reading from the Bible and want me to read with him.
And what Christians have to realize that you have to lead by example. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that Christians don't do, but they'll judge somebody else, like having children out of wedlock, just premarital sex.
Oh, sleeping with people in the congregation.
Yeah, just so much. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much. I feel like it's more demonic activity in the church than it is out in the world. You know what I'm saying?
They tell you One of the things they say is if you want a good woman, go to church.
Yeah. So that means in order to find that good woman at church, you gotta be feeling lust and temptation. You know what I'm saying? And she already dressed sexy. I'm saying the things that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. It's crazy. Oh yeah, what my notes say? I got my notes too. Yeah, and the whole belief about the whole Jesus thing. I do believe that there was a Jesus, but the way they said that he was born from a virgin.
Virgin Mary.
So for me, because if God made us in his image, and we have this mind where we can have common sense and think about things, you have the all-seeing, the all-knowing, the all-powerful, the almighty. Why would he need to find, and I'm going to say how they got it put out there, why would he need to find a white woman to impregnate her with a child to come and die for the sins of mankind? And the reason I said white woman is because that's how they got it laid out. They got it laid out like that.
Mm-hmm.
People listening to this.
Rio de Janeiro? Is that what the that big statue of him standing like that?
On that big mountain. Mm-hmm. Yeah. People listening to this, do that make sense to you? This is the all-powerful of just everything. This is the person that they call omnipotent. This is the person that's just everywhere and in everything. That God, supposedly, that God that created the earth, that created mankind,
the universe,
knows the beginning, from the beginning to the end. If you are in need of anything, that God already knew you was going to be in need of that before you reached that point in your life, right? So that God knows your energy towards him. I'm saying this in Christian terms because I don't believe God is a him. I believe God is like an it.
Energy.
Yes, an energy. It's a thing, not just a gender. So I see it now where I've even seen music award shows where people want to give thanks and praise to their Lord Jesus Christ, their Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and then the song that they may have won the award for, it was a secular song. It could have been violent or sexual. Then they win this man-made award, and then they give thanks to their Lord and Savior. I'm like, is this what it is? Like, God got time for this award show? I see that with a lot of music artists. I see now what I'm a fan of gospel music, but I like the older gospel music, not this new stuff. But it's fusing with other things now, and it's not becoming that energy no more that I felt from the older gospel songs. It's like on some.
Oh, what about the singer dancer?
We can talk about it because it's a thing. You talking about Kurt Franklin?
Yes.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm gonna tell you when it comes to Kurt Franklin. The Kurt Franklin that I'm in tune with was the one when he was with the family with Silver and Gold and The Reason Why I Sing and Behold the Precious Lamb of God.
Was he doing the rolling and?
Back then he was doing more like come on church, like he was like a hype man. Mm-hmm. But now, to each his own, do your thing, Kurt Franklin.
He popping and rolling.
Yeah, he up there just getting it in.
Yeah. You would think he's at a Sexy Red.
Kurt Franklin getting it in. Yeah, and I seen one show he did in Jamaica. He had on cuts, tight shorts, and just he was out there, do your thing, you know what I'm saying? But this adds on to, and maybe he found out what we're talking about, and that's why he doing him. Maybe he know that just do you. You know what I'm saying? That those rules that they have involved in being a Christian, a lot of that stuff is not real.
One of the awards, Kevin Hart was joking about it.
Yeah.
To him.
But that adds to that gumbo of Christianity. You know what I'm saying? But I think he realized some things about the religion. Because there's some interviews I've seen where he's saying things that people are like, wait, you don't supposed to say that. You know, that ain't, you know. I think he realized, because to me, Christianity it's an illusion. But like I said, whatever good you can take out of it, you know, do you. You know, take it. Use it.
But my thing is, when they're gonna actually start helping people.
Yeah.
That's my thing. As long as this Christianity thing has been going, and as long as all these churches gotten so big, and they even making out the guy with the 20-year thing with the church. He's got this $23 million into
it's
this
just
church.
crazy.
Okay, you gonna put $23 million into a church. Why couldn't he put why couldn't he put $10 million into the people?
Yeah.
Because if you look at the church and go in that town, I got guarantee you go around that town, more people needed that money than him building a $23 million church.
And what he's saying, that lets you know the power of a preacher. Because if a preacher can get $23 million and he can disperse $10 million of that throughout the citizens, you know, in the community, $10 million will go a long way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how much power
So
a preacher or pastor has.
Yeah, why would you need the government if you have churches that really care about their people?
So I feel like what they did with the SNAP benefits, I feel like this was necessary because it sparked up a whole bunch of conversations. It made a lot of people see things a different way. Like, hey, where's the church at helping? You know, because I haven't heard any
people
churches
really need
come
to
in
open
yet.
their eyes. They really need to open their eyes. They really just need to think.
With all of these angry women of our race, of the Anglo race, because they're the only ones I'm really seeing on, you know, online.
Crashing out.
Yeah, they crashing out, but nothing, I've never heard any of them like, oh yeah, you know, I went to this church and they took care of us and they told us come back every month. I have not heard any story about a church rescuing any of them. There's a lot of angry women saying they finna go steal. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
A church buy a apartment complex and put people into them.
Yeah.
All these women that's in these hotels spending $2,000 and $3,000 to keep their kids and keep rental cars. We're seeing on the news. I want to see a church say, I want to go into these hotels and get all these people out of these hotels, spending all this extra money when they can spend that money on their children and bettering themselves, saving up that money and go put a down payment on a house.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's
really
time for
wanna
people
see
to wake up.
People to really think about that.
Because I'm going to tell you who really has the power, the congregation. They got the power. You know what I'm saying? Because if you stop going to that church, or if you make them people live up to their word, or if you stop tithing and offering, because when it comes to tithing and offering, if you want to live biblically where you have to give, you don't have to give to the church. You can give to people out in the world.
But
you
the
know
thing about that is, I think a lot of them are too busy in competition with each other.
The churches?
Yeah, they want to look better than the next person. They want to have the newest car.
And then that's ungodly.
Yeah, and they want to have the newest car. They want to make sure that their family is doing well. Their children.
It's crazy.
Forget about anybody else. The people that they don't pass on going to the church where the house is falling apart and everything. They see the kids running around in the front yard, running around trying to be kids. Mm-hmm. They're not thinking about them.
And the thing
regardless of what you think about their parents, what about the kids? Because the kids are innocent. They're not the ones that's doing drugs and having alcohol problems, gambling problems. They're the ones that have to live with it.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about Christianity, what a lot of Christians don't know, you gotta study it, because Christianity was created by Catholics. So in my eyes and my vantage point, from my vantage point, Christians are Catholics and they don't even know it.
Don't even know it.
Christianity is a pagan religion. To all of those Christians that celebrate your New Year's Day, that celebrate your Valentine's Day, that celebrate your Christmas, that celebrate your Easter, that celebrate your Thanksgiving, that celebrate your Halloween, all of these different holidays, that all falls in line with paganism. When Christianity was more at its purest was before the Emperor Constantine became asphyxiated with Christianity. Once he joined, he brought all of his customs with him. That's why you have a Sunday, that's the day that they worship the sun god. That's why you have a Monday, that's the day they worship the moon god. And every day of the week falls in alignment with the worship of a god. There's so many things in Christianity that Christians, they're a part of the religion. It's almost like you join a club, but you don't know, or you join a gang, and you don't know everything that the gang entitles. But you there, you know, but you don't know everything that you stand for. You don't know if this gang or this club has committed murders. You don't know what they do, but you're there. Well, it's just
Christianity,
crazy.
That's what they did. What they call them,
the Christian Crusaders. Yeah,
they went around killing everybody.
And it's no other way to see this, y'all. There's no other way to see it. You know what I'm saying? For this world to become a better place, people gonna have to become more spiritual and less religious. that word religion means to rely on. You know what I'm saying? It's not a necessary thing like a lot of people are making it.
Yeah, and really be about it.
And for that person that put in our comments, collecting people to join in on your mutiny. I don't know if that statement was being funny or if that was good or bad, but it's about waking up. It's about being eye-opening, an eye-opening experience for yourself, sharing it. Each one reach one, each one teach one. It's not anything hypocritical, anything blasphemous. You know what I'm saying? It's just waking up and living your best spiritual
Being
life.
better people.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to...
That's the bottom line. Being better people.
Yeah. You don't have to fall in alignment with a religion. You don't. You don't, because the same Christians, they look at certain movies that you're not supposed to look at. Christians not supposed to participate in politics. You don't supposed to mix government and church. You know what I'm saying? So it's so much, but to each his own. But we're speaking from, our point of views and our shows. We just designed to make people see things from a different, perspective. We don't speak disrespectful of anybody. We just, we speak from where we at, And I don't see myself ever becoming religious. I still like the old gospel music. I listen to every now and then, but I don't get too much into that because I'm a lyrics person. I'm a writer.
Words mean something.
Yeah, so when I'm singing along with a certain song, they talking about the blood running. I have to push myself up out of that, because when it gets...
Cover yourself in the blood.
Yeah, the blood of the lamb. And some of that stuff starts sounding like vampire, eat of my flesh and drink of my blood. Like a lot of that stuff really just don't make sense. It sounds like a scary movie.
They can make it sound beautiful, like Miss
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Her voice is beautiful.
Behold the Lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just,
but, when you start hearing all that the blood and like, okay, that's a little bit.
And there's another song too when he sing about they nailed him on the cross and the blood went down. I mean, the emotion, and I think that's what it is. The emotion that captures you is what can encapsulate you. It can hold on to you and just, you'll be riding with it, knowing that the words that you singing, somewhere inside of you, some of that don't make sense.
But those words are something else. Like quoting Michael Jackson saying, once you say something over and over, you create a mantra.
It becomes a chant.
Yeah, you create a mantra, and then you're engulfed in that music, and then you're actually making that spell.
Yeah, all music is a spell. You're manifesting, whatever you say in repetition, it's a spell. You know what I'm saying? That's music is a spell.
English language is bad enough.
Yeah, cursive writing is a spell. The English language is a spell. It's powerful. It's vibrations that we let out.
What's some of their words? Because one word can mean 4 different things.
Mm-hmm. This is true. And we still gotta have that show about the
how we changed the word to tonight. Mm-hmm. Week.
Yeah, because the word week
is supposed to be 7 days. Yeah. Week means you're tired, you're feeble.
And then Saturday and Sunday, weekend, that means you've been weakened. So there's a lot of tricks in the English language. Is. And this is not a lot of our native tongue. You know what I'm saying? We speaking this because this is what we were born into. But if we speak in the language, we need to know what language we speak in. Just like if you're a Christian, you need to know about Christianity, And then for the women out there that are feminists.
And they said the Queen's the Queen's tongue.
The Queen's English. And for the women out there that are feminists, if you look back and do your research, do you know that once upon a time Christianity was a man's only club? Like it was a man's only thing. Women were not allowed at one point. Did y'all know that? It's so much to go back on. And I'm not one of them people, some people get up here, on September 12th, 1857. I'm not one of them people. I can briefly tell you enough for you to go and do your own research.
Do your research.
Yeah, because that's the problem with people. Now, people want to be spoon-fed everything.
And relying on somebody else's hard work and diligence when you need to do it yourself so you can see it and you understand it yourself.
And when you do it yourself, it hits and hits harder. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Your light bulb come on.
That's right. When I took up art, that's when it got me. I took up art. I only went because I wanted to draw. I wanted to be a painter. I wanted to draw better. And before I even got that far, the teacher told me I had to learn about all these great artists. Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci.
It gets you more indulged.
Yeah.
Yeah, more involved.
I guess the book on Leonardo da Vinci, find out for one, the guy was really insane. Because he went and got to a morgue and he got a human body.
Oh, yeah.
And he was cutting people, even though they were dead, he was cutting people open so he can learn to see the veins and learn. That's how he got to be just able to take a piece of marble and sculpt it into like a human being.
And that's what Christians need to do with Christianity. You need to cut it open and see everything that's in there. Don't just go by how it look and how it feel. Because something can look good and feel good, but you don't know what the heck it is. Yeah. Just like eating food. You might eat some food that might just taste scrumptious, but it might be made with some very unhealthy stuff. You know
a lot of food is like that.
Yeah.
And they make it taste good. They make it taste sweet to cover up all the chemicals that's in it.
And that's how I think Christianity is.
Americans are so used to eating such things that's just so sweet that they don't, anything good that's bitter, they'll push it away.
Yeah.
If it's bitter, they won't eat. Some people I've heard, it was really crazy here, some people said they don't even eat vegetables.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They will not eat vegetables. Some people say they don't even eat fruit.
Wow.
I've heard, I couldn't believe it. I heard a lot of people say that they don't eat
So
fruit.
they only eat meat?
They only eat, I guess, meat and rice and beans. But I've heard people say they don't eat vegetables and they don't eat fruit.
Wow.
I've heard that come from Afro-Americans.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Even if they experience funny, but it came out of their mouth.
Then speaking of eating meat, like the Bible speaks against pigs. It's a story about pigs. Yeah, so it's just so much, and I'm sure there's a lot of Christians out there eat their bacon and they ham and cheese.
So
it's
baby back ribs.
Yeah, it's so much riblets. Yeah, it's just so much, and Christianity in the church.
And there's sausages.
What they say Living Color hated it. But to be real with y'all, what you say? Oh, the pork sausages. Yeah. Yeah, nah. 2 snaps down with a frown. But yeah, man, we joking, but yeah, we wanted to make this, and we're gonna come back another time because we're gonna have what Kev was talking about in the beginning of this episode. There was some real good information that this young man was
breaking
saying,
down about how religion is in the Afro-American churches.
And yeah, they say religion is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
So with that much money, can you imagine? There shouldn't be a poor Afro-American walking the streets.
I think a lot of that's been spent selfishly. I think a lot of it
because most of these preachers they have luxury cars.
Yeah.
They have mansions.
They live in that life.
They have airplanes. They have jets.
They live in La Vida Loca.
Yeah. But the people that help them get them there are still driving regular cars and living in regular homes. Yeah, are walking.
Yeah. Because when I used to go to New Birth, it used to be people walking to church. Like, you can be riding and you'll see just tons of people walking. Some people used to carpool. Some people used to take the bus.
I know there's some people that don't drive. And some people are scared to drive.
But like we said in that previous episode,
about them getting buses.
They need to have shuttle buses.
Have their own buses.
Go drive in front of all these people's houses and pick them up. You know, they got the money. Don't worry about how much gas is going to cost.
You a member of this church, we will come pick you up.
If it take you 5 different trips in 5 locations, if they're a member of your church, make sure they get there safe and make sure they get home safe. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's all there, man. But like I said, the people are the ones that have the power. But the people are just contaminated, as much contaminated as the church is, because they are products of the church. Mm-hmm. So it's crazy. It's really crazy. And with the gay thing with church, huh?
And it's like the preachers are just pimps. Because they're like, what can I do to get this money? That's what it's like. Okay, so this Sunday, I'm going to talk on this. And these people give me this much money. Because I want these envelopes. And I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna say, okay, to make them, just like how you do children, pin a child to another child. Look how many people gave me $1,000. I want somebody to give me $2,000. I want 15 people to give me $2,000.
Them people that's doing that, they I don't know. First of all, where you got it, like where you could just give that kind of what kind of job you got?
I believe some people are actually struggling to do that, and the ones that's not, they're taking money out of their children's future.
That's just crazy.
Or they don't have nothing else going on in their life.
That's just crazy.
Yeah. Some people
crazy.
are so brainwashed they don't have nothing going on in their life other than church.
And you know, it's funny because when I think about like the past of me knowing about certain people affiliated with churches, I know of people that gave bill money to these pastors that wowed them, and then later them having to figure out, you know, who can help them pay their light bill.
I told you, I have witnessed my grandmother with Reverend Ike giving her last because because Reverend Ike had such a grip on Afro-American women back in the days, because everybody, you know, mind you, segregation was just over in '69, and the crazy is you can look at the clip, because they always used to show that. I think they're starting to stop do that now.
Wow.
They used to show clips every year of how racist things were, like in California when Watts went crazy, and they were showing them watering down people and turning German shepherds loose on them. So imagine those years were so close. Cause when I was coming up and when you were born, those years was just, now it's like a blur, but those years were so crucial in our history, where Afro-Americans were just, were broken. They were just trying to make it, because, you know, didn't know, a lot of people were scared that their kids would go outside and get, you know, the Klans or you know, you don't know if they're gonna come back home because the Klans done got to them, or some redneck cop done got to them, because, you know, it was crazier then, just how they saying, like how now cops are shooting people. It was crazy back then in the 70s and 60s. It was just, when you look at any news clip, from the 60s and 70s and see how many Afro-Americans was just killed for no reason, walking down the street, or got missing because, you know, they went the wrong neighborhood, and got, you know, you don't know how many Anglos done killed them and threw them on a railroad track or something, and they left them in the woods or some, all kind of crazy stories and stuff when I was coming up. And
amazing.
Yeah.
But you know, you had said something important when you said you seen your grandma giving her last
to Reverend Ike.
What you know, what I realize is that religion is female based, is emotion based, and I think that's how they get people. They get your emotions and then they own you from that. I think they do something to emotionally excite you, pull your heartstrings. Yeah, and then it's always dealing with emotion.
People want to get closer to spiritual a connection. They want a spiritual connection with either a church or like they I don't know why they feel that the minister or the pastor are so much more closer to God than they are.
That's people gotta. And you know, I used to think that when I was young, I don't know, okay, that's a big man. You know,
I think a lot of times, but coming up, I think it was that TV. Because a lot of people were so used to listening to the radio, and they heard preachers and stuff on the radio, and then when they saw them on TV, that mean that they must be big. They must be they must be the thing. So when they saw like Reverend Ike on Sundays, people that were glued to TV, and the next thing you know, when he asked for something, they were shelling out the money.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's how a lot of people just blindly went in and lost their life going to Jim Jones.
That's crazy. And them people are people like the rest of
regular
us.
People.
They sweat, they get musty.
Yeah.
They have to take a bath. They pee, they shit. Not being gross, but I'm just saying, them people, they just like everybody else.
People don't realize that. You know, only thing I do is look at your history.
They think tainted thoughts.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
History. And then like, what was that? It was an Anglo guy. What was his name? He always kept getting caught with prostitutes.
A preacher?
Yeah, he was Anglo. Yeah, and then he'll be crying on TV.
What?
Yeah. What was his name? Swaggart?
Jimmy Swaggart?
Yeah.
Oh. I remember him.
He'd be crying on TV, begging for forgiveness, but
yeah, them people, they regular people, man. So my thing is, I ain't even gonna say I'm even mad. I get disgusted when I see preachers getting over on people, but I ain't even mad at them because they hustlers, and if you fall for they hustle, then you gotta get mad. People gotta get mad at the people that's, because without the people, they ain't got no hustle.
A lot of these people that when they become preachers and ministers, and that's their only job, that's their job.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they do. They don't go and hit a 9 to 5. They don't go and they don't go to any, clock in a warehouse or anything. That's their job. That's they're dependent on that church for their well-being.
It's amazing. And like after New Birth, like in all those other churches I tried, I'm good.
Yeah.
And some people might be like, oh no, my pastor not like that. My church home says, hey, if it worked for you, then ride it out. But I realized down the line somewhere people they come to their senses. Like,
but some people are just, you can tell them you can talk to them just like they talk to you till they're blue in the face about trying to get you into their church. You can talk to them about all the things you see that's wrong with them going to this church 7 days or 5 days out of the week and giving all their money and they're passing all these people that really needs help and all that. They just need to do better.
Mm-hmm. And some of them they'll make it seem like you the one with the issue.
Yeah.
Because I done been in that situation before, but yeah. I don't really discuss religion and stuff before I discuss it with people out in the world in public or whoever, I need to know where their mindset at, because if we finna have a discussion where we finna bump heads and clash and tug of war.
People are quick to ask you, are you a Catholic or are you a Christian?
Then when you tell them tell them your answer, they make it known of their displeasure with you, Because I told you about the one guy I'm doing his hair, and his mama, he brought his mama to the shop. And she was like, oh, it's good to see a black brother got this shop and walking in the light. And that's when she asked me, what church I go to, what's my faith and this and that. When I told her I don't go to church, I'm spiritual, she just got pissed. I'm in there doing her son. And her son, this is a young man, so I'm doing his locks. And everybody know it take a long time to do dreadlocks because we twist in. You got the edge up, dry at times, it's all of that. And that lady literally was in there sweating. Everything that I said, it was not good with what she wanted to hear. And she made it known. And she told me I'm going to wind up going to hell. And I'm like, wow, like you can tell me that? Like, yeah, this is just crazy. But yeah, it's just, I've been through these things with so many Christians where they make it known that they displeased with what's coming out your mouth. Instead of hearing what you say and trying to see things from a different point of view, they be stuck.
But they definitely
in how they think things are.
They know they're going to heaven.
Yeah, that's the thing. If all of them think that their way is the way, and just for me to let everybody know, none of us know the way. You got all these different cultures with all these different religions, all these different backgrounds, all these different beliefs. What makes you think that your way is the way? Because that's the path that you're on? That ain't the way to see it.
How many people on this planet?
Yeah, and you just think out of all these different ways that your way is the way. I don't.
All these people on
I
this
can't
planet,
subscribe to that.
All these churches.
Yeah.
But you're going to heaven.
Yeah. And then the Bible says that 144,000 people going to be there, so that's a small number compared to
how many billions of people on this planet?
So that means a lot of people going to hell. It's going to be just fire. But then the crazy thing about hell is that I think that people get it mixed up with physical and non-physical, because to my knowledge, a spirit can't burn. A fleshly body can burn, right? So
and
is
people
that
people get cremated.
Yeah, so is that exactly? So people getting cremated, are they already in hell? Like, how do that go? Because that fleshly body is getting burnt. So if somebody go to hell, are they supposed to be in a flesh form burning for eternity? Or are they spirit going to be on fire? Because that part don't make sense to me. And where the hell is hell? Because the lady I told you in the shop when I was doing the young man, yeah, she told me that hell is down. So I'm like, if we dig as far as we can, we will run into hell. And she was like, yes. I was like, I don't think so. No. I think that heaven and hell.
Core of the earth.
Yeah, the magma. Look. I think that heaven and hell are metaphors. I think that it's Greek mythology. I think that it's a mindset. It's a a trap.
And then
A
if
mental
there really are religious, what does the Bible say about the earth?
As far as what?
The earth, period, is not around.
Oh yeah,
ball.
and in Genesis,
And
yeah.
so you can't be digging down in the center of the earth when the earth is not even
So
round.
if it's flat, there's no core, because the core would be like in the I guess the middle of a sphere. But yeah, in Genesis, the way the Bible describes the earth is it's a firmament, it's a plane. You know what I'm saying? It has a dome over it. You know, people gotta man, people in that thing. And what I seen when I was growing up, Christians, they have their Bible on the shelf Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday they take their Bible off the shelf, and that's when they go to church and use it. Then whatever the preacher talked about, when they get home, they put that Bible back on the shelf, and Monday, Tuesday, it stays up there. That's what I seen. You know what I'm saying? Being in these churches, what I give the Jehovah's Witnesses is that they read the Bible, they go pinpoint dates and times and just everything. A lot of these Baptist churches, a lot of these Pentecostal churches, and these entertainment places, it could be a scripture that long, they'll take this much, and they'll elaborate off of that. Then the people start playing the drums and the organ and the theatrics, and you just
running through the church.
Yeah, because I told him, because Noah knew. And then when Noah, you know, and people just, you gone. You gone, like, how much money you need? You know what I'm saying? It's like a play, like a stage play. That's what I have witnessed, you know what I'm saying? I think that God that the Christian is supposed to be following in the Bible, I don't think that God is entertaining like that. I think it's a calm
that all goes
energy.
back to the staging of how Jim Jones started his church. Jim Jones had people come in, but when he was doing his blessing and healing people, he actually had people that they paid to come in to be in a wheelchair, and some people that was really in wheelchairs, they made sure they got them out of the line.
Do you remember that movie with Steve Martin when he was a pastor?
Yeah.
And they had like walkie-talkies. They'll be like the lady on the third aisle in the fourth row.
Yeah, that's how. They all that stuff. They probably got a lot of that stuff from reality, from real stuff. But Jim Jones started all that stuff with they call it theatrics, with the taking cancer out of people and all. They had the chicken guts. And he had it hidden, and then he pulled up, and he got chicken guts in his hand, and he pulled cancer out of this person.
That's crazy.
All that stuff, all that, yeah.
And on a personal note, my sister Nika, that I mentioned in one of our episodes, who passed away when she was 13, she was handicapped. She couldn't walk. She was in a wheelchair. On a personal note, I remember my mama, me, my siblings going to this Pentecostal church with one of my aunts. And this man, you know, you'll see the old lady get up there with arthritis in her cane, and he praying her, she throw her cane and she
That was somebody that knew him.
Yeah, so when my sister Nika, my mama went up there with my sister Nika with her wheelchair, and he laid hands on her. They do this thing with the holy oil and the cross, and he was saying she was going to walk that day. My sister didn't walk. Every time they did that, my sister never walked. So that's when I was a child, and I was like, this is not real.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know about them other people that came up here.
But that's a cruel, horrible job. That's a cruel, horrible thing for people to do, to pretend that they have that kind of faith or that kind of power that they can make people blind that see, and they can make people that can't walk. Why would you do that to another human being?
Yeah,
what kind of human being are you?
When we got home,
to use a religion in that way.
When we got home, we kept looking like, oh, you know, it's going to hit her, she going to walk. Like, we still was looking forward to that.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a cruel joke.
Real.
That's not real. It's not real. And that person was born with that defect. Jesus himself would have to come back here and make her walk.
And I ain't trying to be talking Jesus now. That's if Jesus had that type of
power.
them
saying, as far as the book, as far as what they saying in the book, that Jesus, somebody touched his cloak, and they were blind or something, they end up seeing.
I remember one episode where he mixed his saliva with, he made a paste and put it on somebody else. But what people don't realize is that Jesus could have been what they call an herbalist or herbalist. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the things that he did, it could have involved plant life and, you know, mixing certain herbs together. Because or either he was a practicer of magic. You know, it could have been shamanism, it could have been voodoo, it could have been sorcery. Yeah, so many different things. I mean, people don't look at it that way, and it's not speaking blasphemous. It's just making you see things from a different point of
view.
view.
World, there was a lot of stuff still going on
Before Christianity,
yeah,
before
There
religion.
was voodoo doctors.
Yeah.
And where we come from, Africa, there was voodoo doctors that's all they did. It was from herbs, it was from plants, it was from ancient stuff that
I believe in
older,
that more than this new age human.
There's a lot of stuff that we don't know that we got lost touch with.
Yeah.
And other tribes and stuff lost touch with things because they got humanized.
Force fed some bullshit.
A lot of them got slaughtered.
Yeah, and
just like how the Indians got killed. A lot of stuff the Indians were doing before the Anglos came into their world and destroyed it. We don't know how much stuff that was lost from all the Indians that were killed.
Yeah, and then coming when you said how the Anglos came. Okay, so y'all know Christianity and slavery, all of that's all together in the same gumbo. Slavery was handled under the umbrella of Christianity. How can you descend from slaves and become the same thing that messed you up in the beginning from the first place? Like, it's confusing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's confusing. It's really confusing. Yeah. What everybody got to realize is that everything in this world has good and bad in it, right? So when you hear the word voodoo, the way our minds are programmed, ooh, that's evil, they do. It's good and bad in voodoo. Voodoo is more of a natural religion. Santa Maria, all of these different things. There's good and bad in everything. Even Christianity has good and bad in it.
How do you think Anglos came up with manifest destiny?
It's so many things.
That was a preacher.
Wow.
That manifest destiny. When they got to California, when they was praying and said, this manifest destiny, that meant that they were going to take over this California. They're going to take over this. Yeah, this is ours now. We made it here. Manifest destiny. It manifests itself in their destiny to take over this. All these people that's here, they got to go. It's ours.
Crazy.
It's ours now.
But yeah, people, man, we gotta for this world to be more stronger and empowered, people gotta hold on to their money. Stop giving all your money to these churches. You know what I'm saying?
To help out people that need it.
And I know of another situation with New Birth they had these people I know personally that were members at New Birth Forever. It was a husband and a wife. The husband had got in some trouble where he got locked up. So the wife was trying to get help from the church. Do you think New Birth helped her? They did not help her. All that money that they have been giving to this church, they could have been saving that for that day that he needed money to get out of jail. The church did not help her. And
the church say why?
She said trying to get in contact with the people she needed to talk to, trying to talk to Bishop. She said it was almost like trying to get in contact with Michael Jackson. Yeah, so she said they swung her in a few loops and then she just went, they kicked her out. Like, they didn't get no assistance. I've never heard of anybody that said that a church helped them. I've heard when I first moved to Atlanta, you might have friends, young friends that needed help with their rent and this. Now I heard like Lutheran churches, those kind of Catholic churches that.
Now, back in the days, I can say that back in the days.
The Baptist churches did? Because I used to hear like the Catholic churches, they'd be like, no, they gave me all of my money for rent. I've never heard of a church
they were back, like I said, back in the days. I'm not saying in the 2000s. Back in the days, that's what I remember my mother going to. That was a St. Joseph Church. Right.
Them the only churches I remember.
That was a St. Joseph Church. But I remember back in the days.
And those churches should have been the examples for the Baptist church because them St. John's and Lutherans and St. Paul and Peter and all that, them people don't know. First of all, you going in there with brown skin, which a lot of those cathedrals or whatever they call them, we ain't up in there. They giving you money for rent and they have no idea who the hell you are. Right. They just know that you're one of God's children in need.
Need help, yeah.
The Baptist church, why didn't they follow that? Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
And this
the whole Christianity, all of that.
This preacher or this father, what they call them in there, when I tell you, I was blown away. My mother brought me in there to meet him. You walk, as soon as you open the door, there's about almost a half a foot of silver dollars, 50-cent pieces that you're walking on.
Wow.
To get to his desk.
Wow.
and the room is further than this, and the floor is covered
Wow.
with silver dollars, and he's barefooted. The floor is covered with silver dollars. I'm not telling you, no, not exaggerations. I was 12, 11 years old, and I'm walking trying not to slip on these coins, and I'm walking to his desk to shake his hand, and it had to me, I felt like I was walking on $1 million or more.
Wow.
I swear.
But them the only churches that I've heard giving ever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And then they the ones that had the food banks and just,
But they paid our, I don't know how many times they paid our rent. They gave us money for school clothes. And we didn't spend one day in that church. Other than the time my mother walked there for help.
Anything that I would say is something more closer to God, that would be it. Because that's giving. You know, I don't know how much money those churches have, but it doesn't even matter. Because they could be selfish and greedy like these churches has been. Because these other churches, we seeing these pastors spend their money on themselves and their family. Like you said, their kids getting these, going to these top colleges. You know, the congregation paying for all this shit.
Yeah.
The Mercedes Benz, and somebody they said was eating some meals, some $500 plates somewhere. You know, when they catch somebody out in public eating, I can't remember who that was. But it's just a bunch of Huey.
But like I said, I would love for somebody to send a clip or something showing a church going in the neighborhood and taking care of business, helping people.
If there's anything I see churches doing going in the neighborhood, it'd be fundraisers. Like they're like, we got a car wash going on. It's just such and such dollars.
Yeah.
No, do that shit for free. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Get some new members. Like, no.
We're just everyday people.
Give them some money to wash your car. You know, help the community out.
Help regular people.
Yeah, that's why I said we can start a church.
You don't walk down the street and took homeless people into your barbershop chair in your free time and made them feel like regular people.
That's why I said
cut
we can start a church.
Trim it, So, and you're just a regular person.
It's crazy.
You know.
We done did everywhere we've been at. We played a part in helping people,
somebody, and it doesn't take. I mean, it takes a little effort, but you're just helping another person that's down on their luck. Yeah. Some people, if you listen to their stories, they're not homeless because they're just lazy. Some of them lost they made movies out of it. Some people have lost their family. Some people got in a divorce and didn't know how to snap out of that divorce. Some people just got tired of dealing with people.
Yeah, because like what Kev was saying, there's one guy that I helped. This was back in my cigarette smoking days. So on my side, I was in between customers. I ain't had nobody. I got my little cigarette break. So I'm out there smoking my, what was I smoking then?
Newports?
Oh, I don't know.
Cools?
I don't know.
Fence in the Hedges?
The last cigarettes I smoked was Marlboro, so I could get myself to quit. Because Marlboro had so whatever I was smoking, this homeless dude came over there. He asked me for a cigarette. I gave him a cigarette, and he's standing out there smoking, talking. And I don't know, out of my brain, the clear blue sky energy, I said, hey, can I ask you a question? He was like, yeah. I said, how did you end up, homeless, how you... He said he had the perfect life going. Him and his wife had, they bought a house. They had a big, nice house. They both had cars. Everything was perfect. They had a child together. And he said one specific day, his wife and his son went to go to Walmart to go, run an errand and get a few things and come back home. And he said on their way to Walmart, they got into a fatal accident where his wife and his child both were killed in the accident. Wow. He said when that happened, he lost his concern and care for everything in the world. Like he said, he didn't care about anything anymore.
That was his life.
Yeah.
His wife and his child.
Some people that are out there homeless, not everybody homeless because of drugs and alcohol or laziness, like you were saying. Some people out there homeless for other reasons. You got to hear everybody's story. You know what I'm saying? You'll know who being sincere to you. You'll know who talking bullshit. There's a lot of alcoholics and drug addicts. People end up homeless that way because they, But there's other stories out there too. Like you say, people get, divorces, whatever.
Some people, some children get kicked out of their households because their parents can't deal with them being homosexual or
That's
or
another
lesbians.
thing. Yeah.
And they're living on the street. They're 16,
Yeah,
17
and
years old. And
it's
they
so
have to
many
fend for
things.
themselves out in this crazy world.
And a true church, to me, a considerate church, a loving church, you will have employees there to assess and analyze all these different people's situations. You will have a department or a chapter in your church where you hear everybody homeless story. If somebody come, cause like, yeah, I've been doing such and such drug and I can't shake it. More than likely, that person need to get into a treatment center because we done seen enough where we done tried to help drug addicts and alcoholics, and they just gonna keep fucking
because
up.
we don't have the means. We're just regular people,
Yeah,
and
they
they
gonna
and
keep
bring them
fucking
in our
up.
household.
But if you
You
get,
Go ahead. You can't control or you can't give a person the help that they need in your household when somebody has to work. And you can't just be sitting there watching and monitoring them.
People,
when you got a gardening, you got 2 pets to take care of, and a household to take care of. So of course, you're not gonna be able to give them all the treatment that they really need.
So when you got a church that has a certain department that specializes in that, those people get to assess them people and be like, okay, well, yeah, this like I told you with the man that said his wife and his son got killed, like that's serious, you know what I'm saying? So they take that one more into consideration. Give them a drug test or whatever y'all need to do to find out what's what in their blood. Send them to a place how they do with jobs.
And not only that, as big as the church is, all that money they got, the church should have a staff of people that doctors and nurses.
True. They should say go down the hall and make a left turn.
Yep, housing. If you got all this, especially
I get what you saying.
$23 million church, you should have everything that you need in there to help any human being that's within 5 to 10 miles of that church.
Mm-hmm.
There shouldn't be nobody living on the streets. If a $23 million church is built in your neighborhood, there shouldn't be within 10 miles. There shouldn't be a homeless person. There shouldn't be a starving child. There shouldn't be a homeless child. There shouldn't be anybody like that. A person that's on drugs or alcohol, everything should be right there.
Yeah. And you know what that made me think about? Yeah, we're going to be ending this soon because we don't want to run out of tape again. But how you said that they should have everything needed to, take care of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I see these commercials of celebrities asking regular people in the world to donate to this cause, why can't that celebrity just donate it? Because the people that have been watching your movies or listening to your music or supporting you and pedestalizing you, why can't you make that donation?
You make one movie and make $20 million.
Yeah, why can't you make that donation? You asking the same people that have been paying money for decades to go to your different movies and your concerts.
Sit up and watch your show.
That's where their money been going.
A lot of times you see these celebrities and you hear the stories. They make $100,000 an episode for a show that's been 100 or 200 episodes.
Yeah, and that money is generated from your viewers.
Yeah, where's all that money going?
Yeah, it's just crazy.
If you can take your time to promote this commercial for this whatever, you can have that. You can also do. I donated $10 million to help this fund. Can you please help me out? Yeah, okay, you don't put $10 million. Okay, I guess I can do 50.
And guess what? That commercial that they taking time to promote, they probably getting paid for that.
Yeah.
That's how tricky shit is.
That's exactly how. That's what the problem was. What Michael Jackson said about "We Are the World," because all that money that was generated, a lot of that stuff didn't make it to where it's supposed to go. Because they had to pay for this, they had to pay for the airtime for this. They had to pay. A lot of times that's what a lot of. You got to look, when you donate your money to some place, you got to think about where your money is going.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if you're giving money to these fundraisers and stuff like that, you got to look and see how much of your money is going to actually make it to where it's supposed to go to.
We probably about an hour now, so. Hey, dang, I was thinking something else when you were saying that. Come on. Oh, yeah, speaking of what you said. So when I was a child growing up in Miami, we used to always see these commercials about feed the hungry in Ethiopia. People swiping flies from out their face, just little skinny people with big bellies and big heads.
And that was that female
girl
from All in the Family, yeah.
Yeah, Gloria.
Gloria.
what
I
her
can't think of what her
name is.
real name was.
But yeah, she had this like this voice, like so. This the thing that got me, like how you said they found out later from a lot of other various places that money wasn't going where it's supposed to be going. You said that for the We Are the World thing, right? This what got me after seeing all these commercials my whole childhood about Ethiopians struggling and starving. Moving to Atlanta, I started meeting Ethiopians. I'm cutting Ethiopians' hair. So I started having a conversation and actually work with the Ethiopian we was telling you about, Ermi. I was like, I would be like, I'm so sorry, for y'all country. I know that had to be rough. I'm thinking that these people I'm talking to was those people. They're like, what are you talking about? I say the commercial about Feed the Hungry. They were like, no, Ethiopia is a very rich country. We don't starve there. I'm like, so it was just crazy meeting actual Ethiopians from Ethiopia.
There's like, how many Americans gonna meet somebody from Ethiopia? How many Americans gonna go to Ethiopia?
And look what happened. The Ethiopians
just like Africa, just like how they would show the pictures of Africa. These little kids starving with these little big bellies and little arms and little legs. They need nourishment. They need vitamins. They need all of this.
That's crazy.
19 cents a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what one Ethiopian told me he said the homelessness and the hunger they have in Ethiopia is just like how you might see somebody hungry and homeless here. It's like that. Where, we might go downtown and see, homeless people hungry. He said it ain't just like, their whole place is barren and dry with tents. And he was like, no, he said that's a very rich country. Yeah, it's crazy. And then the people, just meeting them. I'm like, these people ain't come from no hunger and no.
Like you said earlier, gotta do their research.
You got to do your research.
Gotta do your research.
Because if we just listen to everything everybody telling us, it's gonna be a lot of people standing in the wrong line, going the wrong way. What that Bible say, the broad path is not the path, the narrow path is the way. We got to take that narrow path, and that narrow path is going to involve self-research, self-analysis, self-assessment. You got to take this stuff and you got to put it into your spirit and let it tabulate. You can't just go and let somebody wow you on stage and you throwing them money like they're a stripper. You know what I'm saying? It's just, no.
Every human being is going to need help from on one time or another. Just because it's not you that you're just one of those people that don't need it right now. I'm not saying that you won't ever need it.
Yeah.
But everybody needs help every now and then, and I think that it's for us that's fortunate. We need to help the ones that's not fortunate.
And that whole Jesus thing, y'all. Let's erase that whole.
And then we already know they said it takes two people to form the body of Christ.
Yeah.
That's from their Bible.
Yeah, and then to me, it takes two people to form just that universal energy. Because what we're doing right now, we form that universal energy. You know what I'm saying? So they call it the body of Christ in Christianity, but we got together and we formed. It's an energy that I feel right now that's got us doing what we're doing. But that whole Jesus thing, and I'm not trying to irritate any Christians or get under anybody's skin, but that whole, the blonde hair or however all that is, that stuff is not real. Then they can't get it figured out whether he died on a cross or whether he died at the stake, because a lot of them thought that he was a witch, which goes back to him possibly practicing magic and sorcery, because they killed witches at the stake if he was killed on the stake. Yeah, so the cross, if he died on the cross, if he died on the stake, we don't know. We wasn't there, we wasn't looking, you know what I'm saying? We going by things that have been passed down to us.
Well, we know he wasn't blonde hair and
blue-eyed. So get that. Let's fade that away, y'all, because let's be real with all of this. Yeah. And the carrying the crosses and the having the crosses on your wall goes back to, once again, if you have a family member that died by getting hit by a Mercedes-Benz, are you going to start worshiping the Mercedes-Benz emblem? Are you going to tattoo that on your arm and hang it on your wall? No, because you're going to remember how your family member died, and it's going to bring you pain. You know what I'm saying? Having that cross on your wall, on your keychain, on your rearview mirror, that's a form of idolatry. That's one of the 10 commandments that your Christian God speaks against.
Not only that,
you know what I'm saying?
You walk into a church, there's a life-size statue.
That's idolatry. And everything is in people's face, but it's like, I guess when you brainwash
a lot of churches have a cross on top of it.
Yeah, that's all idolatry. Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it.
And they don't have it on top of it. They have one on top of it. Then they have one in the yard.
And
they put
the pastors have the whatever the things is with the cross on both things, like some kind of
Then they have
Whatever they
the
call
church,
that.
the cross in front of the church with the purple slash thing across it, was like it came from Jesus.
Yeah. They affiliate the cross with vampire movies, and it's just so much, man. Just that religion thing, y'all. Anytime y'all hear an episode of us talking about religion, whether it's Christianity or whatever, y'all gonna hear us talking different from what the masses say. You know what I'm saying? This is from our experience. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and me and Kev talked over the years. We've been knowing each other now for nearly 30 years, and we talk things out amongst each other, and we come to our conclusions. Like, like he said, it only take two members to come together to form that energy. And if you talk it out enough, and if you think it out enough, your brain and your spirit gonna start figuring it out.
The logic, the logic behind anything.
And that's what it's
if
about.
It's not
logic.
logical. Yeah, if it's not logical, it can't be real.
Fuck a tradition. Just because something's traditional don't mean that it's right. Because slavery was traditional at one point in time.
It sure was.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just tradition.
And then like there was open field on slaves. You could not get arrested for killing a slave. You could not get arrested for raping your slave.
That's crazy.
So all of that stuff now is
and those are Christians.
In their law books.
And then getting back on my father, because I told you he created such a negative impact with me knowing him. That same Christian man that's been this professing Christian all his life, from when I told you my brother Punchy, he referred to him as a faggot. Is that supposed to come from Christian lips? While he was up here, he used the faggot word. You know what I'm saying? That, to me, I equate that as if you're around an Anglo and they using the N word.
Yeah.
If you're around somebody that you know is gay, why would you use the faggot word? Why would you refer to them faggot? Why would you refer to any faggot? If it's an Anglo around somebody of our skin color, why would you use the N word? There's certain words that can be triggers for people. It can either anger them or it can cause them great pain. You know what I'm saying? If you're a Christian, I believe certain things are not supposed to come out of your mouth and they're not supposed to go in your mouth.
And not only that, why would you want to cause somebody else pain and you're supposed to be a Christian?
Yeah, you're supposed to be uplifting them.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of that from my father.
And does your belief practice hate and pain, or does your belief practice love and kindness?
Yeah. And it's just, that impact he left, like I said, some things that left better unsaid and undone. Our previous episode from this is called Deadbeat Fathers, and his wife with the preaching. It's so many people I dealt with at close range that consider themselves Christians, and they really, when I look at them, they're bad people. They're bad people. You know what I'm saying?
And we're not saying all Christians are bad people.
Yeah.
There's some
people
that
good
just
people out there. Yeah.
There's some people that's trying to find religion. There's some people that are trying to find something to believe in.
Yeah. And everything is inside of us, And if you got to get with that one person and talk it out how me and Kev do, or 3 people or 4 people, you can create your own group and y'all can meet on conference call on phone, and somebody could keep, showing up at different people's houses. It's other ways to do it, but going there, sitting in front of that pulpit and letting them people spew all of them
hatred,
lies and hatred and all that false energy, and you got women leading you, and women are supposed to be up there preaching, and they up there dressed sexual and dropping it low for Jesus. It's too much going on, and I don't understand how people don't see that. It's too much going on.
And they got all these kids, homeless kids, and homeless people on the street. People need help. People starving, and you have all of these churches.
Yeah, it shouldn't
they
be
give all this money to.
Yeah. So we feel like we're good.
Yeah.
All right,
y'all. A lot.
We hope that this episode enlightened you guys.
We helped a lot of people out with some questions about religion, or if you had the same questions or same thoughts that we had, with just why is churches not helping people that's in need? Why is all of these people that's not getting their SNAP? Why they're not getting helped and funded by churches, getting evicted out of their homes with children, or in hotels with their children paying ridiculous prices for just to make it from one month to the next? I know a lot of people are living from paycheck to paycheck, but Why are these people in these hotels with their children and can't get a way out when there are all these churches going on here?
Yeah. With that being said, each one reach one, each one teach one. Peace.
I've impacted one heart, one mind, one soul, and brought that individual greater truth than that individual came into a relationship with me having, then I would say that I've been successful. Harry Belafonte. Powerful giants. Examples that they set for us. Values that they instilled in us. Passing forward. Each one teach one, each one preach one. Inheritance of the EO for all time. Reverence. How our ancestors designed to ourselves. Say it loud. You can't teach others if you're living the same way. Change is right. I'm not quite sure what freedom is, but I know damn well what it ain't. Scholarship for difficulties break some men or make others. Nelson Mandela. We have to talk about liberating minds as well as liberating society. Angela Davis. Say it loud, 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 say it loud. You can kill a man, but you can't kill an idea. Medgar Evers. You make progress by implementing ideas. Shirley Chisholm. I do not expect the white media to create positive black male images. Huey Newton. Education is for improving the lives of others and for leaving your community and world better than you found it. Aaron Bright Edelman. Education is the passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Malcolm X. If nobody can learn from the past, then there's no point in raking it up. Billie Holiday. Your voice can change the world. Barack Obama. Say it loud. 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 Say If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Martin Luther King. It must be recognized that no black males manufacture the chemicals for drug use. Nor do any black males manufacture guns. Francis Christmas. If you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have a moral obligation to do something about it. John Lewis. You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Maya Angelou. The proof that one truly believes is in his actions. Maya Angelou. Say it loud. Say it loud. Say it loud. Say it loud. Say it loud.
The music bring it back. We'll just keep bringing it back. It's going in circles.
No race can prosper till it learns that there is as much dignity in tilling a field as riding a corn. Booker T. Washington, say it loud.
Very nice.
Thank y'all.
Brilliant song.
That song was called Say It Loud, made by yours truly, Say It Loud. We thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Freedom Stars with us. We hope you reach great enlightenment during this show.
Like, share, subscribe, and comment.
And ring that bell.
Thanks for all the cash apps and donations.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks for all the subscribers and shares.
Yes, indeed. We'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
Peace out.